Ever had someone smile in your face, then ask you something that made your whole body tense up like it was trying to escape the room? They weren't yelling. They weren't even angry. But something about that question made your gut whisper, "You're in danger." That's not paranoia. That's your survival instinct ringing the alarm because you just stepped into the web of a manipulator. See, the most dangerous liars don't just deceive with words, they manipulate with questions. And in this video, I'm going to expose 5 of the dirtiest questions liars ask. The ones that sound harmless on the surface, but underneath, they're dripping with hidden motives. For each one, I'll show you exactly how they use it and share a real-world story of how someone just like you fell for it, so you don't. Let's begin with one of their favorite tricks. When someone says, "Why are you being so dramatic?" what they're really saying is, "Let me make you question your reaction so I don't have to explain my actions." Take Emma, for example. She discovered her friend Jess had been secretly bad-mouthing her in their group chat. The screenshots didn't lie, so Emma brought it up, and Jess didn't even deny it. She laughed and said, "Wow, you're seriously blowing this out of proportion. You're always so dramatic." In that moment, Emma froze. Suddenly, the issue wasn't Jess's betrayal, it was Emma's reaction to it. And just like that, she found herself apologizing for being upset. That's how quickly a manipulator flips the script. They won't argue the truth, they'll attack your tone. Don't get sidetracked defending your feelings. Stay locked on the facts. Then there's the classic line, "Do you even trust me?" which is really just a twisted way of saying, "Forget what I did, let's talk about how you're hurting me." Like Derek, who had been dating Ava for over a year. Lately, her phone was always face down. She started having late meetings at weird hours. When Derek gently brought it up, Ava didn't explain anything. She just looked hurt and whispered, "Wow, do you even trust me?" And now Derek was the one apologizing. Suddenly, it wasn't about her behavior, it was about him proving his loyalty. That's emotional blackmail disguised as vulnerability. And here's the truth. If someone has to ask you if you trust them while they're actively hiding the truth, they've already broken it. Sometimes the manipulation shows up as confusion. Like when someone says, "So what do you want me to say?" which is really code for, "I'm not sorry, but I'll fake it if you give me the script." This happened to Nina. She caught her co-worker Jason taking credit for a project she led. When she confronted him, he sighed, looked exhausted and muttered, "I mean, what do you want me to say?" That wasn't an apology. That was a dodge. Jason wasn't confused. He just didn't want to own up to anything. He hoped Nina would hand him a line to pretend with so he could fake some remorse and move on. But apologies that come only after pressure aren't apologies. They're performances. And Nina realized that fast. Then there's the sneaky escape tactic. "Can we just move on already?" which is manipulation saying, "Let's skip accountability and pretend that's healing." Ty had been loaning his brother money for months, always with promises of payback, but his brother would disappear for weeks at a time. One day, Ty finally confronted him. His brother rolled his eyes and said, "Ty, why are we rehashing all this? Can we just move on already?" It hit Ty like a punch to the gut. Suddenly, wanting answers made him the one keeping the peace from happening. But here's what you need to know. You don't move on from pain, you move through it. And anyone who wants peace without process, they're not trying to heal, they're trying to hide. And finally, when they're really losing control, they drop the nuclear guilt trip. "You're really going to throw everything away over this?" Which really means, "I messed up, but how dare you walk away from me?" Sasha found out her partner had been cheating. When she said she was done, he looked at her like she was the one betraying trust and said, "You're seriously going to throw everything away over this one mistake?" He didn't apologize. He didn't acknowledge the pain. He just used the length of their relationship like a shield to guilt her into staying. But you're not throwing anything away. You're protecting your peace. Because if the cost of keeping someone is betraying yourself, then it's too damn expensive. So now you know, liars don't always fight for the truth. They fight for control. They fight to rewrite the narrative so they stay the victim and you become the villain. But that ends now. You've seen the script, you've felt the manipulation, and you'll never again apologize for trusting your gut. So the next time someone drops a, "Do you even trust me?" you look them straight in the eye and say, "Trust? Bro, I don't even trust the autosave on my laptop. What makes you think you're an exception?" And one last thing. If you've ever heard one of these lines before, drop your story in the comments. You never know who you might help escape a liar's web just by sharing your truth. If you're done playing games and ready to protect your peace, click subscribe. Let's ruin some liars' careers together.